This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review. Write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it. And tell everybody you know about it. And then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Well, it's a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to ask you a question. Would you like to be rich, or would you rather be wealthy? And do you know the difference? This is going to be a show that's going to transform your finances, your future, and your legacy. You do not want to miss this show. Pull out a piece of paper, a pen, an iPad, an iPhone, somewhere you can capture notes, because this is going to be a show that will literally change your life. Well, you know, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon me. I can't refuse it. I did not seek it. I did not choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I'm so grateful for you taking a minute, a moment, a time out of your schedule to listen to this program. Whether you're listening on the radio network or whether you're listening on the podcast, the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast, either way, I am grateful that you took time out. And I'm grateful also for you making this the #1 self-help show in America and reaching people now globally on the podcast as well as on other network affiliations. And let me tell you, I'm grateful for you telling your friends and your family members, your co-workers, people in your network, hey, you need to be listening to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way show. You need to be making this part of your weekly routine. And I want to thank all of you also who have sent me notes and told me how this show has changed your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next, I want to thank our sponsor. I want to thank Truist Bank. Two great banks came together, BB&T and SunTrust. They were competitors, but they said we can do more together than we can do apart. And they came together and created a new bank called Truist, Truist. And they said we're going to build this bank uniquely because we're going to start this bank with one principle. The principle is on the concept of care. When you start with care, you build a different kind of bank. And that's what they've done, Truist Bank. And then, I start every show by taking a moment to give God glory. Oh, to be so grateful. I am so grateful. And I am blessed to be able to share my gratitude to God and to thank the Lord for giving me grace and mercy and health and strength, for blessing me and opening doors, giving me favor that I probably am well not deserving of, but I am blessed and I'm grateful for. And so I just have to take a moment every show to say thank you. Thank you for life and strength and health, for friends and family members. I'm grateful. So I say it to you every week. God's gift to you is life. Your gift to God is what you do with your life. So do something extraordinary. Make a point to do something big and bold and exciting with your life. Well, today is a show that I have gotten so much response and buzz from the last few months. I've been just sharing tidbits about my upcoming new book. The book is entitled Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. Rich is good, wealthy is better. And I've gotten so many people who said, I want that book. I want that book. And so we have been trying to push to get the book done. Yet every time I think it's almost done, I get this new revelation, this new enlightenment. I got to add that. So it has taken longer than I anticipated, but it is finally out of my hands and into the hands of those who are in the publishing process. So it's on the way. Now, I decided, though, because so many people have asked about it and wanted to know more about it, that I would do a show specifically focused on some of the lessons about this book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, and let you get some of the principles. Let me tell you how excited I am about the book. I sent out review copies or manuscripts to some of my people who I respect in the financial arena, as well as wealth builders. Here's what my friend Mark Victor Hansen, the #1 best-selling author in history, 59 New York Times #1 bestsellers with Chicken Soup for the Soul. He said, whether you're beginning a wealth building experience or you're a seasoned pro, this book is for you. You'll be able to use the tenets that my dear friend Dr. Willie Jolley shares in this book. Use them to magnetize, magnify, and multiply your money. You will have absolute abundance and true financial freedom. Wow. Here's what my friend, the great goals guru, one of the greatest best-selling authors of all time, over 80 books, has said. His name is Brian Tracy. Many of you know him. He's been on this show. He said, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better is an extraordinary masterpiece. One of America's most trusted voices, Dr. Willie Jolley, has shared this book. It is packed with wisdom and actionable steps that will transform your mindset and your results. This book will ignite your thinking, elevate your actions, and put you on your fast track to lasting wealth. Read it, then share it. Your family and friends will love you for sharing this book with them. It is truly a life-changing book. And then Michelle Singletary, nationally syndicated personal finance columnist, The Color of Money, and columnist with the Washington Post, and the best-selling author of the 21-Day Financial Fast, Your Path to Financial Peace and Freedom, wrote, "To develop a wealthy mindset, you must understand the difference between being rich and living a life of wealth. Dr. Willie Jolley guides you on a journey to understand the latter." And then my friend Robin Sharma, #1 best-selling author of The 5 a.m. Club and The Wealth Money Can't Buy, said, "A superb book for any human being ready to lead their richest life." Wow. I'm honored that these folks have said these things, and I am grateful for all of the great accolades. This book has taken me a number of years to write now. I started with an idea, and the result of that idea has culminated into a book that I believe might be my biggest selling book of all time. And so today we're going to talk about that book, and we're going to give you some of the tenets. One of the questions that has come to me over and over again is, why did you write this book? Or why did you write this book? What inspired you? Well, over the years, I met so many people who were chasing after being rich. They wanted quick money, flashy cars, high income, but there were fewer who focused on creating lasting wealth. And the reason I finally figured out was because they didn't know the difference between being rich and being wealthy. So I started doing interviews, just asking people, if I were to ask you, what do you think it is to be rich? And the answer, I ask you folks for a moment, take a moment right now in your mind. I want to ask you, what do you think when you think of what is rich? Hey, what if I came up to you in the street and say, hey, what would you say if I said, what is rich? Think about it for a minute. What would you say? Would you say $1 million would be rich? That's the #1 answer I'd get from people I interviewed. What is rich? $1 million. Okay. And then I'd ask the second question. Well, then what if rich is $1 million to you? What would you say makes it different from being wealthy? What's wealthy? And then I want to ask you the same thing. What do you think? Tell me for a moment. What do you think? Well, let me tell you what most people said. Most people said, well, if rich is $1 million, then wealthy must be 5 million, 10 million, $1 billion. That's what I got over and over and over again. And so I realized that I met people who were chasing riches, but they didn't chase wealth because they didn't know what wealth was. And I know that being rich might pay your bills, but being wealthy can change your life, your family's life, and that is your legacy's life for generations to come. Often we see rich being a one-generational event. We see it with people who become rich in one generation, but it doesn't make it to the third generation. It might get to the second generation because they left some money for their children. They left a home for their children, but statistics show that it rarely gets to the third generation because that second generation will go through the money. They'll sell the home. They'll get the cash. And as one of the people in the book said, Amy Griffin, who's been on this show, one of the greatest trust attorneys I've ever met, she said, assets appreciate. Cash evaporates. Ooh, 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 ooh. Assets appreciate. Cash evaporates. And that's what happens with people who become rich. It's a one-generational experience. But in this time of uncertainty, particularly economically, people need real, time-tested principles. And I talk about principles, not hype, but principles. A principle is something that's long-lasting. It's secure. It's foundational. It works over and over again. If you throw a brick up in the air, it's going to come down 100 times. You throw it down 100 times, throw it up 100 times, it's going to come down 100 times. A million times, it's going to come down 1 million times. Why? Because of a principle called gravity. it works over and over again. Wealth works over and over again if you know the principles. So this book is going to give you some time-tested principles, not hype, to build wealth that you can pass on to future generations that will last more than 1 or 2 generations. That's why I wrote this book, to give people a blueprint that they didn't know, but help them to know so they can grow. This is going to be a book to change their life. So we're going to take a quick break. I've got so much more information to tell you about this book. I've got information on how there are different money mindsets and what they are, and how people can transform their lives by making some small changes in their thinking and in their actions. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And for sure, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back. Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me. You can call on me. Call me. You can call on me. Pick up the phone. You can call and call me. Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and support for the Dr. Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show comes from Truist Bank. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Home ownership is a blessing. That's right, it's a blessing. And the ability to build equity, value in a home that you own can be the foundation of creating wealth. Wealth that can be passed on for generations. Truist believes that a path to home ownership exists for you. I hear people say, well, I don't see how I could ever own a home. Well, Truist can help you buy a home with a low down payment. Connect with a Truist teammate to learn about the options available to you. Reach them by calling 855-257-4040, 855-257-4040. They really care. You can also visit truist.com/homebuyer, truist.com/homebuyer to calculate your mortgage payment. That's truist.com/homebuyer. Truist Bank is an equal housing lender. Remember, visit truist.com/homebuyer or call 855-257-4040. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show and podcast, heard around the globe. And I'm grateful for all of you in international countries who send me nice notes. I am grateful. I'm grateful for all the notes, but let me say the ones in international, because I'm so shocked each time I get a note from somebody in a different country. So please continue to send me a note, info@williejolly.com. And let me tell you, I appreciate the notes from everywhere. So if you are appreciating, enjoying, getting a blessing from this show, if it's helping, if you've got a testimony, I've had people over the years said, I doubled my income in a year listening to your show. I started a new business that has prospered. I got fired from my job, listened to your show, started a business, and now I am doing great. Or people who've said it just blesses me and my family and my employees. I've had businesses who say, my people listen to your show. We make it part of our weekly routine to talk about the lessons we learn. Wow, whatever way it blesses you, send me a note. I just am grateful for each one of you. Info, I-N-F-O at Willie Jolley, WILLIEJOLLEY.com. Well, today is a special show. My guest is me. Yeah, my guest is me because I want to give you a heads up about this new book, my new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. So many of you have said, when is it going to be ready? Where can I get it? How can I get it? And I am so excited about the response. And I'm going to tell you in a short while how you can pre-order the book so you will get access to it before everybody else and get it at a discount as a result of that. Many people have said how they want to learn about wealth, and they want me to share these lessons. And so I'm grateful I get the opportunity to do so. And so in the book, as I said, has taken me quite a while. It's built on two major platforms. The first platform that got me thinking about this book is a platform about the 5 money mindsets. The 5 money mindsets. Here are the 5 money mindsets that we all see on an ongoing process. We might not realize that they're 5 money mindsets. We just take it as part of life. Mindset number 1 is what I call the one-day mindset. The one-day mindset is people who think of money on a one-day cycle. You typically see these people on a street corner with a cardboard sign saying, "Give me enough money to make it today. Give me enough money to get some food today. Give me enough money to get some housing today." They're one day, and every day they repeat that process. Then you got the 30-day mindset. That is people who are on some form of fixed income, and that's their only income source, whether it is on Social Security, whether it's on a retirement payment, or whether it's on a welfare situation, that they get SNAP or some sort of government assistance. But they got one income source, one stream of income, and when the end of the month comes, if that check is late or disrupted, they are falling apart. And every month they repeat the cycle. 30 days, every 30 days, 1 month, a 30-day process. Then we get the 1 year mindset. Typically, we call that the middle class, who live year to year. Did I get a cost of living raise this year? Did I make more money this year than I made last year? Then you get the decade to decade mindset, or I call it the 10-year mindset. Typically, you see that with the rich. The rich typically have a 10-year mindset, where you'll see an athlete get a 10-year baseball contract, or an entertainer who's in vogue for 10 years, for a decade, the music in vogue for a time. But then it goes out, like disco was hot for about 10 years and then it was gone. And those who didn't make the transition, that was the end of their popularity. But an athlete, let's say a baseball player, gets a 10-year, $100 million contract to play baseball. And for 10 years, he is balling. He has 5 Bentleys, 10 Rolls Royces, a helicopter, a jet, 4 mansions. I mean, he is balling, living it up. What they call bottle service at the nightclubs, roped off red velvet ropes to his area, paying for everybody in his group. He has an entourage, living it up for 10 years. But if that contract is not renewed, or if they get hurt, or something else happens and they just can't play anymore, and they don't modify their lifestyle, then you'll see the reason why so many ex-athletes are broke. Statistics show over 70% of retired athletes are broke within 5 years. But then you get the 5th mindset, what we call the wealthy mindset, who think generation to generation to generation. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children's grandchildren, and that those who think that way are those who will create legacy and long-term wealth. Now, some people will say, well, how can that be? Is it really like that? Let me tell you, it is. Some of you who are long-term listeners on this show will remember I interviewed the president of the Dale Carnegie Institute a couple years ago. And that was such a mind-boggling interview, because I asked him a couple questions that changed my life. I asked him, hey, let me ask you, what's the business model for Dale Carnegie? I've heard about Dale Carnegie over the years and Dale Carnegie Institute. We know Dale Carnegie wrote the landmark book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, but he also built a business that taught people communication skills, leadership skills, and how to be effective in business and in life. And he said, oh yeah, we now have a franchise model for those organizations, Dale Carnegie Institute organizations around the world. And I said, well, how many of those franchisees do you have? And he told me the number. It was a lot of people, big number, a lot of people, a big number around the world. Then I said, okay, now what's the annual franchise fee? He told me that. And I did a calculation of that fee times that many franchisees. And it was like, wow. Whoa, that's a lot of money coming in annually. I said, okay, that's great. Where can I buy some stock for your company? He said, you can't. I said, why not? He said, because it's a private company. I said, wow. I said, well, who owns the company? He said, the family. The Carnegie family owns the company. Wow. And here's the real wow. I asked him, how long have they owned the company? He said 110 years. What? So a generation is considered to be 25 years when a person grows up, gets married, has children. That's a generation, when a new generation comes in with a child. So for almost 5 generations, the Carnegie family has been reaping the benefits of something their great-grandfather, their grandfather, their great-grandfather, their great-great-grandfather did back in the early 1900s. Wow, that's real generational wealth. That's what we want to aspire to. So I'm writing this book with the goal of getting each mindset to go up at least one level. I think it would be too big a leap for the one-day mindset person to get to the wealthy mindset immediately. But if I can create a program, a process, a mindset, a change in thinking for that one-day person to get up to the 30-day mindset. And if I can get those 30-day mindset people to get up to the 1-year mindset, and I can get the 1-year mindset people to get up to the decade mindset, and I can get those decade mindset people to get up to the generational mindset, then I've done my job. That's what the first platform of this book is about, the 5 money mindsets. The second part that the book was built on is the fact that rich is money that is generated by the actions that you take, the businesses or the work that you do, the services you offer and you supply. Wealthy is when that money that you make makes money while you sleep. Let me say it again. Rich is defined as money you make from what you do. Wealthy is when that money that you make, you have some of that money set aside to make more money. And now you can't take all your money because you have to have living expenses. You have to have rent and mortgage and car and food and clothes. But some of that money should be focused on making more money. That's when you get to wealthy. It's been said that normal people work for their money, while the wealthy, their money works for them. We're going to take another break for station identification. This is a special show based on my new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show and Podcast. And we're doing a special show today that focuses on my new upcoming book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. For those who want to jump on board, and I recommend you jump on board and pre-order copies of this book right now so you can get it at a discount. The book can be found in the pre-order at wjspeaks.com/wealthy. wjspeaks.com/wealthy, or richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com. Either one will get you there. richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com or wjspeaks.com/wealthy. Let me give you a few more of the testimonial quotes from people who have read the book in the pre-print process so we can have the testimonials for the book. John Hope Bryant, founder and chairman of Operation Hope and author of the best-selling book, Financial Literacy for All, says, Dr. Willie Jolley has created a roadmap for success. It goes beyond money. Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better is about mastering the art of living an abundant life filled with purpose, passion, and joy. It's the kind of book that will change the way you think about wealth and success. And then my friend, Dr. Roberts, Michael V. Roberts, billionaire investor, best-selling author, said, financial literacy is the hallmark of growing wealth for you and your family. To develop this knowledge comes from experience in exploring investments that may be foreign to you and the community in which you were raised. Creating a sustainable fortune requires following the wisdom of people with success stories. Dr. Willie Jolley's incredible book is one that will lead and direct your thinking and move you into a mindset that can help you to have incredible and unbelievable long-term financial success. This incredible book, remarkable book, touches on major, powerful, but simple solutions illustrating that once you get rich, you must direct your money to make more money. Far too frequently, a rich person squanders their treasure when, in fact, the proper investments can lead to sustainable and generational wealth. Dr. Willie Jolley's book will reveal to you the secrets and strategies to developing the mindset of the wealthy. It is an absolute must-read. And Dr. George Frazier said, important lessons and powerful reminders in this quick read on building wealth. Dr. Willie Jolley, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, is a mic drop of ideas, powerful insights, sound advice, and nourishing nuggets. Willie Jolley has a gift for making it plain, no fluff, straight, no chaser, and intel that will make you say, damn, that's good. Dr. Jolley, thank you for another tour de force of service to the world. Stay the course. Dr. George Frazier. And then I have a great foreword from Kelvin Boston, who is the founder and host of the Money Wise TV show. And I'm just going to give you one of the quotes from his point of view for this book. This is a book that everyone in your family should read, must read, has got to read. I appreciate all of those kind thoughts and words from people who got a chance to get a early copy of the book and to review it. As I said, the book is coming out soon. If you want to get you want to get it when it first hits, a pre-release order of the book will get it at a discount. Again, go to wjspeaks.com/wealthy. Now, let's talk more about the book. So I've been asked a lot of times, you say this book can change lives. From the first page, what's the first mindset shift that readers need to make? And the very first mindset shift that people need to understand is that you were born with the capacity to become wealthy. Not just to survive, not just to make it through, but you were born to thrive. But most people have been programmed to think wealth is for the other folks. But I want to help readers break that mental construct, break those chains, and realize that wealth starts with a thinking, with a mindset. It involves discipline and strategies. And what is a step that everybody can take to become wealthy? Well, it starts with a wealth habit. It starts with having a formula. In the book, I give you the formula for how you can create wealth. And it's a simple formula. 10% tithe, 10% save, 10% invest, live on 70% of your income. What I say, let me say it again. 10% tithe, 10% save, 10% invest of every dollar. Now you say, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It takes discipline. I didn't think I could do it at one point, but I started the discipline process. I taught my children, this is what it's going to take, discipline. If you can automate it when you get a paycheck, that you automate those three, tithe, save, invest, and live on 70%. If you cannot automate it because you might be an entrepreneur, you must develop that discipline that I'm not going to spend this money. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to invest. I'm going to save. I'm going to tithe. I tithe. Let me tell you about tithing because it creates a discipline. And many of the great wealth achievers, from the Carnegies to the Rockefellers, they all understood the principle of tithing and that you have to plant seeds for greater wealth. The universe has principles. And then after you tithe, you save 10%. And then you invest at least 10% of every dollar. Now, what keeps people from growing from rich to being wealthy? They get stuck at rich. Well, it's fear, short-term thinking, and a failure to invest. They compare themselves to others. They think in terms of paydays, not portfolios. And I want to help in the book shift a mindset from a consumer mindset to a creator's mindset, from living for today to building a great tomorrow. That is why I am encouraging everybody. Make sure that you start now. This is something you can do. I had to do it. Others I've shared with have had to do it. People have done it who created wealth. And then how can you build wealth as a tool for creating impact in communities and families? See, wealth is not just money, it's influence. It's impact. When you're wealthy, you can fund scholarships. You can support your church. You can start businesses. You can create jobs. You can set up your children to inherit not just the money, but the wisdom that you will need for wealth. Not just bills and burdens, but a plan for generations like the Carnegies, that they can be impacted, that they can be impactful, and they can be a blessing. And so this is so powerful that I want everybody to know that these tools and principles work. And I talk about the 4 types of giving that I have established. I got a giving goal. I've got a getting goal. I got a doing goal, and I got a being goal. Every year I set a goal, what do I want to give so I can be impactful? What do I want to give? And in order for me to hit that giving goal, what must I do? What must I do? What's my doing goal? What books must I write? What speeches must I give? What television, radio shows must I create and produce? And then after I got a giving goal, then I got a doing goal, then a getting goal. I got to get this money to get to do these things so I can give. And then I got a being goal. What must I become? I got to become better. Y'all know if you listen to this show, I'm constantly telling you, constantly work on yourself. Become a lifelong learner. Never stop becoming better. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till good is better and better is best. And never stop that process. It's cyclical. You keep getting better. Keep getting better. How can I better my best? You think you did your best job today, your best work today? Well, how can you better it tomorrow? Every day I'm working on getting better. And when I make up my mind to get better, I'm learning new principles. I'm developing new skill sets. I'm taking classes. I'm constantly trying to better me. Don't become stagnant. Don't become comfortable. Don't become content with where you are. Keep growing. Keep growing. Now, let me share a couple of powerful, important parts of this book. In the book, I talk about the fact, and earlier I said that those people in the 1 day or the 30 day typically have one stream of income. One of the most powerful strategies out of the book is the importance of multiple streams of income. I've learned that no matter how talented, successful, smart you are, relying on one income source is a bad idea. I learned about the fact that you must have multiple streams of income, and if you do, you will have wealth creation opportunities. And that came to me from my friend Nito Cobain, who told a story about a fisherman who was out on a pier one day, and he had a fishing pole in the water. A young guy came up, and he had 8 fishing rods. And he put the fishing rods on the platform, and then he came back with a wheelbarrow with 8 bricks. And he put a fishing rod in the water and put a brick on it to hold it in place. Another fishing rod, brick. He did it for all 8. And then he stood and watched. And when he got a bite on one of the fishing rods, he'd go and pull that in. And then while he was doing that, another one would get a bite. He'd get the fish off, put the hook back in the water, and then he'd take the second one. And he did that for all 8, and it kept being circular. He was catching more fish. End of the day, the man with 1 fishing rod had 1 fish. The man with the 8 fishing rods had to put all his fish in the wheelbarrow. Have multiple streams of income. So what did I do? I learned that lesson, and then I created speaking income. Then I created book income. Then I created licensing income. Then I created digital products. Then I created sponsorship income. Then I created other forms of income. Everybody should have at least 2 streams of income. Everybody should have at least 2 streams of income. If you're working, you should have some investment income, whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate. And then also in the book, I talk about the different types of investments that you can start to learn about. And so this is so incredibly impactful. And one more thing, most people understand about wealth building is that they think it's luck. That truth is wealth is a mindset backed by discipline. It's not how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you earn. You don't need a lottery ticket. You need a plan. Let me say that again. You don't need a lottery ticket. You need a plan, and you need the discipline to execute that plan. And this book will give you a plan to create your wealth. We're going to come right back in a few minutes with one more segment from this special show about my upcoming new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, and how it can change your life and change your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show, and for sure, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Afraid of flying, I always kept my dreams on the ground. Life had enough ups and downs. in the past. So I'm still.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. There's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and will help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast. And I'm so grateful for this show and the opportunity to share these lessons. So many of you have asked, hey, tell us about this book. What we should know about this book. And I've told you this book is built on, one, the fact that there are 5 money mindsets: the 1 day, the 30 day, the 1 year, the decade, and then the generational. And the wealthy, they live with the generational. And then the book also has another platform is the difference between rich and being wealthy. And rich is money you make from what you do. Wealthy is money that you generate that is made by what you own. Money that's made from your money. And if you get in that mindset and you're willing to develop the discipline, and that is the big if you're willing to develop the discipline, you can create wealth. And we have lesson after lesson and story after story in the book, an example, and how you can do it, how others can do it. And many people think, well, it's a matter of the fact that you got to make a lot of money. No. Mary Ellen Pleasant never made more than $6,000 a year. She was a domestic, cleaning people's clothes and cooking food for people. Was a cook, a maid, a person who cleaned people's homes and cleaned their clothes. But she had the discipline to live below her means. In other words, live on less money than she brought in, and invested the difference. And she became a multi-millionaire. It's story after story about that. Those who take full advantage of their 401k and have become millionaires. Story after story. And how you can do the same. This is not something that you cannot do. You can do this. You were born to be wealthy, but you must make the decision. The Bible says in Deuteronomy that God gives you the power to create wealth, comma, so you can establish his kingdom here on the earth, that you can do good with your money, that you can make a difference. But he gives you the power to create wealth. Many people don't take advantage of it. And then we talked about generational wealth and how your attitude, I got to talk about that, how your attitude can become like a GPS to help you become wealthy and successful. If you believe you're going to struggle and that you're going to be poor, you're going to be poor. But if you believe that you were born for greatness, that you were born to make a difference, that you were born with the capacity, and you develop that and you work on it, it's like going to the gym. You might initially, the first day you go to the gym, can't pick up much but the bar itself. You can't even put any weights on it. But if you keep doing that and you get stronger and stronger and stronger, then you put on the 5-pound weights on each end, then the 10-pound weights, then the 20-pound weights. You start to grow your strength, and then you can do the same with your wealth. It starts with an attitude, a mindset. You must believe that you were born to win. And that's what I'm saying to all my friends. And y'all know at the end of every show, end of every segment, all my daily 1-minute messages on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell on the Radio 1 network. In fact, everybody should be subscribed to my daily 1-minute videos that come out. The radio version is audio, but the video version I send out free into your email box every day, Monday through Friday. Anybody can get it. And people around the world have said, it's changing my life. Thank you for that message today. Free. Because I learned the more you give, the more you get. The more you put out, the more comes back to you. So I just give and I want to help others. I just want to help others. So if you go to wjwow.com, wjwow.com, sign up for the daily 1-minute messages. Sign up to get my newsletter. If you're not on those, why are you not on them? They're free. I'm not charging you a penny. I'm offering a way to help you change your thinking. Well, at the end of every segment, I say your best is yet to come. If you believe it, you can achieve it, folks. If you believe wealth is possible and that you're worthy of it, many people don't think they're worthy of it, but you're worthy. I'm saying you're worthy. Your actions start aligning with your belief, and that belief will help you to develop a discipline, and that discipline will help you to start taking actionable steps. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's about what you do with the money you make. Live below your means. So you might have had a setback. I'm the guy who wrote the book, A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. I'm the guy who coined that into the vernacular. Now, many people say, it came from T.D. Jakes or Joel Osteen. I gave them both the book. And they have shared it, and I am grateful for them sharing it. They don't have to say my name, because when you Google A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback, the book, my face is what you see. And that book has changed people's lives. And I'm telling you, that's our biggest selling book. My biggest selling book is A Setback, Setup for a Comeback. But I think this book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, might be even a bigger seller. And I say the same thing about this book that I said about A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. That book didn't come from me, it came through me. And I give God the glory. I give God the glory for the information that was shared with me, that was downloaded into my brain, that I could share in this book. I'm encouraging everybody to go to wjspeaks.com/wealthy. Pre-order the book. You get it at a discount. Pre-order multiple copies so that you'll be able to get it and get it to your friends and your family members as soon as it comes onto the marketplace. As soon as it's released, you'll get it before everybody else. Do it right now. And I've had a lot of churches call me. That's the exciting thing, because I spoke to some of my pastor friends, and they said, we need this message for our people. And many of them invited me to come speak, to talk about the book. And one of them, I have to give his, Rod Hairston, Pastor Rod Hairston in Baltimore. He said, I'm going to share something with you. He called me a couple weeks after I spoke there, like 3 weeks after. He said, every week since you spoke here, our giving numbers have gone up. Every week they've been going up because people have a new mindset about creating wealth and understanding the impact of giving toward their wealth creation. I got nothing out of this. I get nothing out of that uptick in his stewardship numbers. But I am glad I was able to be a blessing. And so I got a lot of churches now who are lining up saying, I want you to come speak. I just want to tell people everywhere that rich is good, Wealthy is better. And here's the principles that will make you go to the next level. And then people ask, what legacy? What legacy do I hope Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better will leave? That 100 years from now, somebody will be reading it. I won't be here, but somebody might be reading it. Just like somebody is today reading Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Somebody's reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Here's what I want in 100 years, or my legacy. I want this book to be remembered as a spark that ignited massive change in thinking. That readers will not only change their own financial lives, but they will inspire their kids, their churches, their communities to do bigger and better things. That this one book will impact millions and millions of people, and that millions of wealthy mindsets will be unleashed into the world, and people won't have to struggle with the same level of struggle that they had before because they didn't know the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And what I share in the book is how important it is that you focus on these differences, that you get clarity on how you unlock the power of money, and that you get the fundamentals for creating wealth, and that you understand how money works and what money does, and how money is more than just a medium of exchange. It's so much more than that. And where we got our currency from, initially from seashells, where people would exchange seashells in exchange for something they needed. Then they did barter systems. And then finally paper money came. And today we got crypto and other ways. And money will continue to evolve. Then understand, once you get the money, what you going to do with it? And that's where I start talking about the different types of wealth. There are different types of wealth. There are 5 different types of wealth. Of course, there's financial wealth that we're going to talk about. But then there are other wealths that you need to know about. There's health wealth. If you're not focused on keeping healthy and staying healthy, then all the money in the world won't make a difference because you can't enjoy it. Les Brown said it like this. He said, the man who's sick has one dream. That's all he can think about is getting well. That's all he can focus on is getting well. But the man who is well has 1,000 dreams. He's so right. So you want to understand that there's financial wealth, there's health wealth, then there's reputational wealth. Recently on Maha with her book, The 7 Ways to Self-Reliance, and she talked about how reputational wealth must be thought of as currency, because it can make or break your income strategies and your streams. Then you got relationship wealth. Your relationship. How do you have relationships? Not just with your people you love and your household, your wife, your husband, your partner, whatever, but also the relationship you have with your children, your grandchildren, your family members, your friends, and your business associates. Relationship wealth. And then intellectual capital wealth. What you know and how you share it. Rich is good, wealthy is better. Rich is good, wealthy is better. Go to wjspeaks.com/wealthy and get the book, pre-order it. And then you support Truist Bank, a bank that is committed to truth, trust, and integrity. You can go to truist.com, truist.com. And then every Monday night, join me for the Jolly Marriage Show. My wife and I have been married 40 years, coming up 40 years in the next couple months. Haven't had an argument in 38 years. We tell you secrets to long-lasting and positive and healthy relationships. Every Monday night on the Jolly Marriage Show, on A Jolly Marriage on Facebook, A Jolly Marriage on Instagram, and Willie Jolley LinkedIn Live. And then you can get all of the episodes at the Jolly Marriage Show on YouTube. This is Dr. Willie Jolley with his special show This is Dr. Willie Jolley with a special show sharing about my new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And you get it today, because it'll change your life and change your family and your future. Have a great day, and remember, for sure, your best is yet to come. God bless you.
life don't treat you fair. Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.